Give me my theme music!
Coming at you live from Boulder's backyard, it's Buffs News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ!
What's up, everyone, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ, and welcome to the Monday show. Of course, if you're joining us today, we will be doing our call-in show here in just a bit, as we will open up the Taco Bell hotline for all you fans to comment, discuss, bring up whatever points you want, and just give you the floor after this weekend's game against Georgia Tech. Wanted to just start off, of course, hey, if you like this channel, if you like what we do, of course, hit that like button. It always helps out massively. Make sure you're subscribed. Luckily, unlike most losses that CU has had the last couple of years, surprisingly, we didn't see a large drop in subscribers like we have in the past. So maybe CU fans aren't fully crashing out on Colorado just yet, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see after this show. Let's see if we can get those numbers back up to where they were before the Georgia Tech game. We lost about 3 subscribers. In the past, we've lost the Nebraska game last year. I lost about 30 subscribers after the loss to Nebraska. So let's see what happens this week leading up to Delaware and after this stream. Hoping that this stream helps us heal a little bit, helps us move on, and has us all ready to go going into next weekend. Before we get into it, though, yes, I totally agree. Before we get into it, and buddy, your reasoning though, like, again, we should have won that game. I can point out, and I will be doing some video review. We easily could have won that game. Easily. A lot of people were talking about how it was a guaranteed loss against Georgia Tech. We easily win that game if just a couple things change. And you're going to be surprised, but I've changed my tune from where I was Friday night after the game. Had a much different opinion than what I did Friday after the game. So before we open up the Taco Bell hotline for today's take, which, by the way, if you call in, give your take, and you are selected as the fan take of the week, you will win a Taco Bell player t-shirt that will be sent out to you via mail. Be on the lookout for that. I know Buddy got his first week shirt already. He can chime in the chat for that. But you'll want to call in today. Give your opinion. Let us know your thoughts in more greater detail than you can let us know in the chat, okay? Appreciate you guys joining me for today. So real quick, before we open up the hotline, I want to dive into my thoughts now that we have, a couple days after the game, but also I've had a chance to watch the all-22 footage. Couple of comments that I want to make personally about the game on what I feel. Obviously, you guys are probably going to have different opinions. I hope you guys call in. Let me know your different opinions. Let me know why you're feeling that way. But after watching the all-22 of both the offense and the defense, here are some of the takeaways that I have. I'm not ready. This is going to sound crazy to a lot of you. I am not ready to say fire Pat Shurmur like some people have turned to this weekend post that game. I actually, and if you watched the Friday post-game show, I was really pissed off at all the screen passes that Colorado did. Watching the all-22, I now realize why they ran those plays. They were set up perfectly. Those plays should have gone to the house on most of those. What I noticed from watching the All-22 is just how poorly our receivers were able to block during that game. We had them set up perfectly. There was one-on-one mismatches where if they just hold their individual blocks, there was not a guy there to make the tackle. What happened was the receivers got blown up, the play got blown up, bam, dead in its track. On top of that, the other plays that I would talk about, some of the Caden Salter run plays that he made, where even he made, got a couple yards, 8, 10 yards, but also got stopped a few times. Those plays, same thing. If the receiver either goes to the place they're supposed to go, there was one play in particular where Isaiah Harge rolled out into the flat, Caden Salter came out, and Harge decides to go behind the receiver instead of holding the block with the guy right there and creating a hole. He runs behind the receiver, trips, falls, and Salter has to run out of bounds because he has two guys from Georgia Tech about to absolutely crush him. So there's that play as well. There was another play that Salter ran outside. By the way, Zach Atkins, there was one play that Zach Atkins did fail on a screen to hold his block. And you know what? Zach Atkins immediately puts his hand up. You can tell that he apologizes to the guy. He takes complete responsibility for that play not working. But on a play that Salter rolls out, it's him and Omarion Miller on the outside. Zach Atkins takes on two Georgia Tech guys successfully and holds his block. Then Omarion Miller's on the outside. Salter cuts up. If Salter gets past Omarion Miller's guy, Salter is gone for a 70-yard touchdown, guys. Omarion Miller's guy that he's blocking throws him to the outside and is looking right at Salter. So Salter makes the decision, rather than cut up in that hole, he tries to go to the outside of Omarion Miller, at which point Omarion Miller's guy then shifts him again, and Salter has to go out of bounds. There's nowhere to run at that point. So that's another play. Again, I would love to break it down for you guys sometime this week, but there's a number of those plays where that happens, where everything is fine. Now, there are a couple things that I'll call out. It's not perfect. I don't know why we went away from Michael Welsh after the first drive. I don't know if the team was trying to rotate and find out what the other guys had, treating this almost like a preseason game. Let's figure out what our personnel is. I don't know. Michael Welsh absolutely dominated that first drive. Simeon Price had a decent game. DeKalon Taylor had a good game, but he had a good game when it came to coming out of the backfield, catching passes. He wasn't so much going to be a downhill runner at the line of scrimmage. He wasn't that game. So there was that as well. Okay. So a lot to take in there. The last thing that I will bring up, and it was something that I brought up Friday night, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are bringing up, and I've seen it regularly all day, whether that was Matt McChesney's stream, whether that was DNVR's stream, a lot of you calling out Caden Salter, myself included, on Friday night. I was like, what the heck is he doing on those overthrows? Well, guess what? Watching the All-22, I actually don't put those overthrows on Salter. He was doing something on purpose. He was expecting and wanting his receivers to go a different direction. He was throwing to where they should be, not where they were. Okay? So the question is, how do you want to evaluate that when that happens? The biggest play of the entire game, which, by the way, I have posted over on Twitter. I posted my thoughts. I posted a clip about it. We had the winning touchdown secured, guys. I'm not even kidding. So what happened is, before Georgia Tech scored their winning touchdown, Colorado had the ball with about 4 minutes left. They got one first down. They were looking pretty good. About 3rd and 6, Salter goes back to pass. He's flushed out to his right, and as he goes to his right, he points for DeKalon Taylor to take off downfield. And as soon as he points, the safety from the other side starts sprinting over to get DeKalon Taylor. Salter has to throw it immediately, and he does. He points, he chucks, hoping that DeKalon Taylor will run downfield. Instead, DeKalon Taylor stays flat, parallel. The ball sails over him. He just tries to catch it here. Ball sails over him, short guy. The ball was thrown down the field. Okay? So that play right there would have won the game. If DeKalon Taylor turns up, and by the way, the play was already dead. DeKalon Taylor was flat-footed anyway because the end of his route, it was done. But the guy who was covering him was in front of him, whereas DeKalon Taylor was behind him. DeKalon Taylor turns around, takes off running, completely wide open. That's what Salter was wanting in that moment. So what is the issue going on when those plays happen? The issue is not being on the same page as your receivers. Okay. So the quarterback and the receiver knowing what they want when they go off script. A lot of times, what you're going to do on those plays is just keep running across the field. Keep following your route and hoping that eventually you come open, something happens that way. But eventually that breaks down. You might have to run in a different direction, come back to the ball, take off down the field. It all depends on where the defense is and who's covering you, where you can go. That was a massive play. And I saw the throw and I was just like, what is going on? Why are we overthrowing that? Why are we overthrowing that? That was one. The other one to DeKalon Taylor where he was wide open in the flat. We eventually got the touchdown on that. And Salter even tells him after the play, he motions what he wanted on the play. He wanted DeKalon Taylor to go upfield more on that play rather than wide and go up. So again, miscommunication, it's on both of them. It's on both of them at that point. They've got to figure this stuff out and know what each other are wanting to do in a game situation when that happens, on what's supposed to happen, what route you're supposed to run, all of that. There's another play on a swing that we hit a swing pass, and I'll have to go back. I can't remember. I think it was Sincere Brown. No, it was Omarion Miller. Omarion Miller comes across the field. He goes under the defender. That play was a swing pass all the way. If he goes over the defender and the defender goes with him, it stops him from being able to go and attack the swing pass like he did. He has to actually fight through the receiver. Actually, I think he did the opposite. He went behind and he should have gone in front of the cover man. There was a couple plays like that. So what I'm trying to say is the big thing that I noticed offensively from that game, okay? The big thing that I saw from that game, and again, I've watched the All-22 for all those people saying, you know, this, and this happens. If you watch the All-22, you'll see exactly the views that I'm talking about, and a lot of people are talking about today that have access to that, okay? So, you know, that's where it's at. You can see these plays getting put together, okay? So here's the thing. It's execution. Plain and simple. It's execution. The guys were not executing what they needed to do. We were not holding the blocks we were supposed to. We were not running the right routes we were supposed to. We were not on the same page at times when we were supposed to. And when we were executing and we were doing what we were supposed to do, we had two very good touchdown drives. Our two touchdown drives, which again, when we started that game, a lot of people were like, this is it. This is what we thought this team was going to be. That first drive of the season, we were executing. We did not execute. Okay. We did not execute. Okay. So there's that to it. And Big Mike, again, I've watched the play 5 or 6 times. He did not miss him. He did throw it over the field. He floated it upfield. That's why, yes, it went over him because it was floated, not bulleted past at DeKalon Taylor. It was thrown over him because he wanted to take 2 more steps behind him and head upfield rather than stay flat-footed facing him like this, make it an easy incompletion because the defender's right in front of him. If he throws it to DeKalon Taylor, that's most likely either interception or it's knocked down. He wanted him to take off, and he was throwing it over him to take off downfield. I'm telling you, watch the video. It's there. It really is there. So there's that. So, see, I love this. CU gets it. And I know that he's being sarcastic because there are some people in the chat that are, you know, saying we had no chance in that game, and yet we lost by 7 with a chance to win at the end on the drive that I'm talking about where we were doing okay and just a miss A misplay on it. After the game gets it. He should have kept running. And Salter points to tell him to go. Go upfield. There's no one behind you. You're the fastest guy on the team. If you turn and go and I throw it, the safety from across the field is not getting to you. And guess what? It's a touchdown. It is a 75-yard touchdown to take the lead with 3 minutes left in the game at that point. Wide open. Wide open. So here's the thing. This is what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. Execution. Execution, execution, execution. It's why I'm not crashing out. I'm not going to say that the season's over. I'm not going to, say that things are bad. These can be fixed. And what's even better is we did that against, and I will call them a skilled team, a team that's going to be successful this year. I do think Georgia Tech will be successful. That offense is not easy to stop no matter who you are. You've got to play perfect football each and every play. The moment you take a play off, King will kill you. You know? Trey's got it. Week 1 looked bad. Can we just talk about that, guys? Week 1 of college football looked horrendous. And you know what it is? It's honestly this. I've talked to a lot of people. I've communicated with some people on Twitter. I've communicated with some different football analysts. The transfer portal era is officially upon us. It's no longer just CU bringing in half a squad of transfers. It's everybody. And so what we're seeing is essentially these first week's worth of games are those preseason games to figure things out in game. You can only do so much in practice. It's absolutely what's going on. So guess what? Colorado got a really difficult opponent out of the way week 1, almost won. Okay? Buddy keeps going in the chat saying almost, shoulda, coulda, woulda, all this stuff. I don't care. It was a loss. But the fact that CU in such a poorly executed game, not for a lack of skill, not for a lack of the right, plays or anything like that, I'll be honest, it was they did not execute the game plan and the plays that they were given to the extent that they should have. And that can be fixed, guys. So I'm just saying that going forward, these next couple of games are going to be very telling. This is where they can get that execution down. And the opponents that we have, I feel good that they can get the execution down. Because even if the execution is slightly off, we're not playing teams with the level of skill that Georgia Tech had. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you want to say. I don't care anybody saying that Delaware won their game. I'm not saying Delaware is a horrible team. They're not Georgia Tech. And we lost by 7 to Georgia Tech at the end of the game. Okay? So we can fix things and come out victorious in these next 3 games before BYU. And I include Houston in that. I really do. Real quick, we had a super chat. I appreciate you, Gennaro, as always. Dual quarterback Salter averaging 3.3 rushing yards. We want Juju. I would like Salter to take off more and to trust his legs more. But like I also said at the beginning, there was a couple plays that Salter could have easily gone off for an entire touchdown if somebody holds their block like they were supposed to for even one more second. So it's close. It's close, guys. I'm telling you. It really is. I don't think they're 6-6 either. Sorry. I don't know if you watched the other teams we're playing. I don't know, buddy, if you saw, but Kansas State should have lost to North Dakota. Just saying. CU showed even on off night we belong on the field with a good team. Yep. I like that take. You guys get it. Hot take. Glad to see Otis step up, not look lazy as fuck. Good for him. Here's the thing, sir guy. I have one problem with Otis that showed up on the tape. Otis had amazing plays, during that game, by the way. Otis had amazing plays during that game. However, he was also inconsistent because on Georgia Tech's second touchdown, it was because of Otis that they scored. Yes, I will say, this is what we talked about in our pre-show talking about the season, guys. If you missed that, I was very interested to see how Devin Dampier would look for Utah. And I can't remember if I had that one as a loss and David had it as a win. One of us had it vice versa. But, I mean, maybe Kansas State's a win and Utah's a loss now. I don't know yet. But Devin Dampier is serious. You know, Rocco Becht, I said, was going to be a very good quarterback. Be interested to see how we match up against him. But I am not worried, guys. I'm not calling 6-6 after one game. Like, that is absolutely insane when you actually look at the game and look at the plays within it. Okay? When we look at everything that we had going for us, a couple of plays difference that can be easily fixed. It's not a case of skill. It's not a case of strength. It's not a case of anything like that. Can we execute what we need to do? What the coaches want? King John gets it. A lot of you get it. So there's that. Lady C, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Okay, guys, the moment's come. I know you guys want this. I know you want to be a part of this. We're going to open up the phone line, okay? We're going to be respectful, okay? We start throwing around a bunch of curse words. We start attacking anybody, else in the chat, myself, whatever it is. The call will get hung up. We'll have to ban the phone number, okay? Just know that. I want to hear your actual take. Give me your thoughts on the game. Give me your thoughts on what's going on. Why do you believe it? Because this is stuff you can only say so much in the chat. I get it. You can't type out an entire, paragraph of stuff, but you can say it pretty quickly. So we are officially open for calls. So feel free to call in. Again, fan take of the week gets a t-shirt from Taco Bell. So the Taco Bell hotline is officially open. Thank you for Taco Bell for sponsoring the Taco Bell hotline this season. Guys, it's your chance. And we got our first call. Now, let's make sure that it's good, okay? We got our first call. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to, and where are you calling in from?
What's up, Russ? This is Kevin. I'm calling from Orange County, California.
Kevin, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you for calling in, and I believe we're actually getting audio this time. So, Kevin, what do you have to say about the Georgia Tech game?
So I agree with you. I'm not ready to give up on Pat Shermer. I didn't think he did that bad of a job. I did not like those screen passes. Last year he was calling those screen passes, and It didn't work. So we got to get rid of those. I thought Case Salt, he had opportunities to run. There was a lack of accuracy, and the whole thing about where he wanted the receiver to go, it comes down to just throwing the ball where the receiver is. Sometimes the receiver, they may change the alignment of their route based on, what's going on in the defense. So we got to get that right.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I'm glad you're not calling it quits. I'm glad you're staying on it. Any other comments you have for that week, or for Georgia Tech, or even this week, what you want to see moving forward?
I thought the defense did okay. The defense, they did enough for the offense to score enough points to win the game. I think the defense, obviously, they got ran over, over 300 yards. So
yeah,
I thought that wasn't so good. But I think, moving forward, we just got to get things together. I think I would like to see Juju maybe come in. Delaware, they suck. They suck. We're going to probably put up 70 points on them. So I think I want to see Juju come in maybe mid-third quarter and play all the way to the end of the game.
I hope that we get that far ahead that we can see some Juju.
I want him more than he should at least get a quarter at minimum, but I'm hoping that he gets a little bit more than a quarter.
I would love that. I would love a half. I would love the game split in half, and mostly because we're winning by so much at halftime. I would love that.
Yeah, they were struggling with Delaware State, so I don't think they're that good. So we'll see. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, for letting me on.
Yeah, no, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. There's been several calls while he was on the phone, guys. So just realize I can only take one at a time. We got our next caller up. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York. My name is Matt Thomas.
Matt, I appreciate you calling in from the great state of New York. Matt, what do you have to say about the Georgia Tech game?
Feel that, I really feel that Pat Schumer did a pretty good job, but there wasn't enough razzle dazzle for me. And Kate, he was a little uncomfortable. He wasn't in his comfort zone. It didn't seem like to me.
Yeah, what would you want to see to maybe get him in the comfort zone, do you think?
I want to be able to feel confident about making the decisions that he feels is best for the situation, and like Shador did.
Yep. No, for sure.
And there should be a little more razzle dazzle with the calling. I mean, when you're down 2 yards and you're on the third down play, go for it.
Yeah. They could have been more aggressive on those fourth downs in the first half for sure.
Yeah, and the time management was not too good. I mean, I have to put that on Pat Sherman or the coaching.
Yeah, no, that one's definitely interesting. I didn't love Coach Prime's comments about it. He forgot about the negative play to start that drive, which I think is what everybody was upset about. So
Yeah.
That was interesting to hear him say that. I was wondering, like, was he not paying attention? Did he not happen to see that play occur? Was maybe, talking to somebody or doing something? Because he didn't even bring up that one. And that was an easy timeout call right there that would have changed that entire drive, I think.
Exactly. And also, I just want to say that I don't think it would be a good idea to start Juju right now. Yeah. I think, in my opinion, it's best to let Caden get in his comfort zone, and you'll see amazing things out of him. Just give him a chance.
I agree. I'm ready not to move on from Caden. I'm even somebody that on Friday mentioned that after the game in the heat of the moment. So I'm back on the Caden train. I want to see what he can do these next couple games for Colorado.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up on them. I love the Buffs. Go Buffs.
Okay, I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in. We've got another call. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Thank you for calling in. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
What's up, Russ? It's Keith.
Hey, Keith. How's it going?
Yeah, we had better days, but I'm good. Everything's getting better.
Yeah, no. I appreciate you calling in. What do you have to say? I mean, I've been chatting about what my thoughts are now. Getting to watch the game back. What are your thoughts on what transpired Friday night?
My problem is with the defensive line.
Yeah,
and the defensive coaches and the coaching, of course, the rotation wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got Georgia Tech got my man Tebow 2.0 back at quarterback. Okay, so it's obvious passing was second nature to him, and it wasn't part of the game plan for the passing accuracy. So why was it so important to put the speed rushers in a game like this? We got 9 defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So we got over about 5 to 6 defensive tackles. So you may tell me you can't put T. Carter at one DN. You can't put my man Lightfoot or somebody at the other DN. and then have along with Jaheim Otis and I forgot his name. The
Amari.
Taquid. Yeah. I'm sorry, Amari at D tackle. You couldn't just put bigger guys in.
Yeah.
And the defense for matchup, it was a matchup problem. That's what it was. Matchup problem. He got Wade going against a 340-pound tackle, and of course he's gonna get washed down. And of course he's gonna get down blocked and washed down so that big Tebow 2.0 can run over us over and over and over and over again. There were times when they ran the same play 4 to 5 times in a row.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And all that 200 years of NFL experience, 3 gold jackets, all that great stuff on the Bucs coaching staff, you mean to tell me we couldn't come up with some type of plan, a plan B, C, D, all the way to Z,
Yeah.
to stop a high school offensive playbook?
Well,
That's what Georgia Tech beat us with, an
yes.
offensive playbook, high school playbook, wing T.
Yeah. No. Well, and my other question to that too, like I didn't think about that, so I agree with you wholeheartedly. Why we didn't go a little heavier? Also, why didn't we bring in an extra linebacker instead of a safety?
That kid Myers he had a hell of a game. You could have had Myers along with Reginald Hughes and Frenchie. You could have had both. You could have had all 3 of them in at the same time.
Yeah. That's the one I don't get, because I watched the game-winning touchdown that King had. It was all on Love. Love is in the game, which I still don't get why he was in the game instead of Byard. And he was the one that was supposed to fill. He was supposed to fill the gap for King, and he went to the wrong gap, and King ran right past him.
He didn't get that many reps in 2 days. I mean, for summer workouts, and he didn't get that many reps at all. All of a sudden, he gets reps now.
I don't get that. That's the one thing I don't get on this team. We were rotating way too much.
Oh my God! And it's like, I mean, hey, I know Buff Nation, I know Buff Coke Nation, whatever, and see you aunties and all these. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being negative. I'm sorry for being over criticism and all that junk, because all the people around here don't understand what real sports fans do. Real sports fans are not groupies, okay? We're not Coke figures. We don't do that. We don't do Coke group stuff, okay? We criticize, but we still love our team. So don't take criticism for hate. Please don't. But anyway, I'm just saying, I know I don't have over 200 years of NFL experience. I know I don't have all this glory of a resume like a Pat Shermer or Fitzgerald or whatever. I don't have all that. But at the same time, I know that when a high school playbook is beating the crap out of your NFL experience, and Georgia Tech got a bunch of Division II and Division III coaches on their staff, wiping the map of our coaches, and all they called was student body right, student body left, with the quarterback.
The quarterback count whole game.
The quarterback. He ran for almost 200 yards. Oh, yeah, by the way, he is the top candidate for the Heisman Trophy up in one game. One game. One game. But I'm sorry. Am I qualified to talk about that? Ooh. Have a good day, Russ.
You too, Kev. I appreciate you. See, here's the thing with that, guys. Like, we can criticize. I think that was a fair criticism. Would you guys not say? Like, that's the key. I do think there's some people out there that are critical of some dumb things. Kev's absolutely right. And I think the team absolutely deserves it. And I see everybody saying the same things in the chat, similar to that. I mean, it's absolutely true. You don't allow 300 yards. That needs to be fixed. And I think there is a personnel issue with who we're picking to go out there at times. Again, watching back the tape, the safeties were getting burned on those quarterback runs, guys, because it was hat on hat across the board. And the one person that did not have somebody blocking him is the one person that has to stop the quarterback at that point, and that is the safety. So let's get to the next caller. We got another one coming in. You guys are coming in hot today. I love it. Let's go. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who am I talking to, and who do I have the pleasure, or where are you calling from, I should say?
Yeah, Russ, this is Robert from Texas.
Okay, Robert, appreciate you calling in from Texas. What are your thoughts on Friday's game?
Well, first of all, I'm going to start off on a positive note. I loved our special teams. Our special teams were magnificent. Last year, in every game, there was some sort of mess up. This year, they look phenomenal. Now, secondly, we're going to start being a little bit more negative now.
Yep.
Now, here's the situation. We cannot have our dual quarterback average 3.3 rushing yards. That's ridiculous. That's not even being a dual quarterback. There was plenty of time for him to run, and he didn't take advantage of it. Why have a dual quarterback if he is not going to run?
Agreed. Here's the thing. I wish he ran more on the passing plays when there wasn't something open or when the pocket collapsed. I felt like he was looking to try and go for bigger plays. I think in the future, I'd prefer him just taking off. Watching some of the plays, there was a couple of his runs, though, that should have turned out much bigger than they did. Some people missed their assignments that they needed to when it came to K-Salt and getting him that open thing. But I agree. I do want to see K-Salt with much, much higher numbers when it comes to that.
Now, there's a bigger problem. How can we have our running backs leading in passing statistics? Don't we have 4 stars, a plethora of 4-star wide receivers?
Yeah. I think the question is then, do we pass the ball more or do we run the ball? Because I know a lot of people wanted to run it even more than we did because it was pretty successful.
Well, talking about our wide receivers, Omari and Miller.
Yep.
Omari and Miller, I love him to death. This guy has stuck to CU. I'm pretty sure he had plenty of offers, but he's one of the faithfuls. He's one of the loyal ones. Now, because he's loyal and he's faithful to the CU program, doesn't he deserve more respect than what's given to him? How is he being used? He's not.
Well, yeah, I will say it came out after the game. There was a clip of it. Omari Miller did strain his, I believe, his hamstring at one point during the game, kind of early on, which might have limited his play to an extent. But I agree, he is your best player. You got plenty of receivers. We got to get them involved. We got to get them active. I would have liked to see some more short to intermediate routes, quick throws, plays that would set up Salter to get in a rhythm. That would be my only complaint of Pat Shurmur's play calling for the game, was I wish that had been done early, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then lastly, and this is nitpicking, but how long have we invested our time for this particular game? And then at the beginning of the game, Salter could not hear the calls being played.
Yeah.
I mean, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like
you have a national TV game, and the quarterback cannot hear the calls coming in.
Yeah. It looked like he was struggling with it, when he was holding his hands up to the ear. I don't think it was that loud at Folsom when they had the ball, but I wasn't at the game. I couldn't tell you. I'll be at the game this weekend. I'll tell you if it's a little bit louder, although I bet it's not as loud as it was this past weekend. Be very interested to see how that gets followed up and if they make any adjustments to kind of help him with that. I have no idea what's going on with that.
This is the last thing, Russ, that I have to say, and then we'll end the call.
Yeah.
The last thing I have to say, if Salter doesn't want to run the ball, we want Juju. Once again, if Salter does not want to run the ball, we want Juju. And that's it.
Love it. Love it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your call. Really, really appreciate it. The line's back open. Several of you called in. Remember, we can only take one call at a time. So until somebody gets off the phone, you got to call then or right at the end of the call. So we'll leave that open. I got a bunch of, we'll get to the super chats here in a second. Let's go to our next caller. We got, Thank you for calling. This is Buff News Weekly. Russ, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Andrew from Illinois.
Hey, Andrew, do you mind muting your sound behind you? We can hear the echo.
Yeah, I just turned it down. Thanks.
Oh,
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
taking my call.
Yeah.
There were a couple of things that stood out in the game. The thing that I noticed also with the right receivers, you just spoke about it. There were no short routes. I think most of the receivers are going downfield trying to tear the top off. There was no use of the tight end going across the middle. I think that tight end has a very, very bright future. And it was funny how the running backs end up with more receptions than the wide receivers. We've got to find, if you saw that Florida State game and the way that they used their quarterback, their dual threat quarterback, I think if we adopted some of those plays that opened him up, that allowed him to make those short, choppy 15, 20-yard passes, that team, the offense looks good. They have skilled players. They have the talent. I think the play calling sucked a little bit. I didn't like that Schumer was not on the field with a first-time quarterback. You have to be right there to support that young man. I also think at this point in time, too, that maybe Deion needs someone in his ear. There needs to be some experience on the field with those timeouts and those the play clock coordination. That sucks also. But I'm not really down on the team. I think they're going to do great. I think it's a matter of them gelling together, just getting to know each other's patterns. This was the first game, and a lot of those guys are brand new. We lost a big chunk of CU last year. And so it's like you're building all over again. So I think the team is definitely, as far as Georgia Tech, they probably could have really blew them out, but the defense stood. But you can't keep relying on the defense if you're not taking any time off the clock and allowing them to rest. So
agreed.
That kind of everything.
No, you're good. I appreciate you so much. Hey, thank you for taking the time to call in. Hopefully we'll hear from you the rest of the season. So thank you so much. Guys, real quick, I'm going to turn off the phone line just real quick. Got to pay the bills. Of course, Taco Bell sponsoring the show. We appreciate them. Hey, go get your $7 Taco Bell Buff Box right now at your Colorado participating Taco Bells. You don't want to miss it. Get your collectible cups featuring, of course, Juju, who might be the future. The Draylon Miller, of course, wide receiver number 6. Quentin Gibson, love the start that he got, getting the first touch the entire season. And then, of course, the franchise, Jordan Seaton. By the way, best left tackle of the weekend per Pro Football Focus. So that's something to think about. Hey, CU or Taco Bell donated $2,000 to the scholarship fund. They will be donating $1,000 per touchdown this season. So we appreciate them supporting CU athletics and CU education through those scholarships. So make sure you go out, get yourself the $7 Buff Box, which is a compact load of food. I'm telling you, I can never eat an entire one. So if you're looking for a value, that's the one. And for supporting CU athletics, Sko Buffs and Live Moss for Taco Bell. We appreciate it. Hit that like while we're in here for the like break. I'm going to turn back on the hotline so you guys can call in again. Multiple people calling in. I get it. You guys are excited. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the software and the hardware to do multiple calls like a normal radio show. So, hey, stick with me. If you want to call in, we can hear your calls now. And I will get to the super chats towards the end of the stream. You guys will get your own time in the sun as well. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, man, this East Coast Kev, one of your subscribers, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, East Coast Kev. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Calling in from Jersey by way of Brooklyn. I'll get to the negative later, but I got to say positively. the future looks optimistic. I'm optimistic about the Bucks. I'm not ready to give up on Sherm or Salter yet.
Yep.
Because honestly, people got to remember this is Georgia Tech. They're not no pushover team. I mean, this is the same team last year that they almost beat Georgia.
Yep.
You know, so
Well,
I'm not ready to give up on them yet.
And they're definitely picked high in the ACC. So they were picked to be one of the top teams.
They're favored to win it. It's between them and Miami that favored to win it. So I'm not ready to give up on them yet. I'm not ready to give up on Shermer or Salter. And I'm going to tell you why, because our defense, they kind of dropped the ball too. Yeah, there were 3 turnovers, but 2 of them were not caused by the defense. The quarterback mishandled the snap. And the other one, there was, defensive pressure, but, DJ McKinney caught it. So I'm not ready to give up on him yet. And on top of that, we gave up over 300 yards rushing. Like, that's got to get fixed, like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We can't give up that type of, especially on there's going to be other teams we're coming across. The Big 12, you got Kansas State, they run the ball, Kansas run the ball. And guess what? And even Utah's getting ready to – hey, don't sleep on Utah, man. That quarterback is good. If they had a quarterback last year, they'd have been in good shape.
Yep.
So I just think that working on that interior defense, them guys in the middle, and there was some mistakes that I think that the lights got kind of bright for Salter. I think that coming from Liberty, like who really watches Liberty football, but seeing 50,000+ people in the stands, and then having that aura of Deion Sanders, like I think that I think the lights got bright for him. I think he'll learn from it. And if they go now, people are saying pull Salter, but if it don't get fixed by the Delaware game, they should beat Delaware. If it don't get fixed by that game, they're not gonna understand saying, maybe we need to put Salter to the side for a minute. But I wouldn't give up on him yet, man. He's a good player, man. He's a really good player, good dual threat. He just gotta learn to be him. I'm not ready to pull a plug yet.
I agree with that. Thanks, East Coast Kev. Thank you so much for calling in.
I left you a super chat, by the way, too. So
yes, well, I'll be addressing that here in a little. I super appreciate that. I super appreciate all the support that you give to this channel. You've been one of the originals, so appreciate you. I'm sure we'll hear more from you as the season goes on as well.
You got it, man. Go Bucks, man. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
My name is Renee, and I'm from Memphis.
Hi, Renee. How's it going? Appreciate you calling in from Memphis.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I am a Colorado Buffalo fan, and I saw that you had the hotline on calling, and I've never done this, so I was so kind of nervous, but I'm glad I got through.
Yeah, not a problem. No, I appreciate you taking the time and being patient. What do you have to say about the game from this last Friday?
I was very upset on Friday, but I'm better today. And what I wanted to say is we were doing so well in the run game, and it seems like we're going back to last year. Once we start getting the groove in, we switch it back to passing. And I'm like, hey, running can eat that clock up. Running can do a lot of things while you got the momentum. So why are you stopping and doing the pass at the point where Micah and Simeon are doing great? I mean, Pat Schumer just seems to like, okay, we're going to run 2-3 running plays, and then we're going to go pass. We could have done so much better if we would have just run the ball. They said they were going to run the ball.
That is true, and I wish they hadn't gone away from that. Micah was having such a good game, so let's hope that they go back to that. They see it works. Remind me what your name was again?
Renee.
Okay, Renee, I'm going to go ahead and pick you as our Taco Bell fan take of the week. So what I want you to do is when you get off the phone with me, okay, you're going to send me an email, okay? It's buffsnewsweekly@gmail.com. Okay.
buffnewsweekly@gmail.com.
Yep. And if for some reason you don't get the email right or something like that, you can reach out to me on social media if you have it. But email me your contact info, your name, your address, and we will shoot you your player T-shirt. We will have it mailed to you from our sponsors at Taco Bell. Okay.
Yay!
I
would
appreciate
get one
you
of the
today.
Taco Bell boxes, but I can't because I'm in Memphis.
I know, but we'll do the next best thing. We'll get you a T-shirt with one of the players on it, and you'll get to see that, in the future here once they get that sent out. So I appreciate you, Renee. You get to be our
All
Taco
right.
Bell fan take of the week. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're so welcome, and I'll continue to watch. So
I appreciate
thank you
it.
very
Thank you,
much.
Renee. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, and where are you calling from?
What up, Russ? This is Jay from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Jake, how's it going from good old Milwaukee? What are your thoughts on the game Friday night?
Oh man, I'm getting over the game right now. It's like a bad cold.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I still got faith in the squad, man. I think we're gonna be all right overall. I'm just kind of disappointed that, I've been watching Prime them since Jackson State, and at Jackson State it was more balanced than what they had, and I think once they kind of got to playing big boy football, you're trying to get all these recruits. You want to keep everybody happy. But I think they really need to come up with a style of play. Like, if you're going to have all these athletes that's running 4-4s and 4-3s, create an offense that showcases that, opposed to, otherwise just kind of get some guys that'll work hard and really kind of play football, how it needs to be played. I understand everybody wants them to run, but you got all these guys you recruited as wide receivers, and I understand them wanting to get those guys involved, but I just think they need to come up with something that, so when you watch Colorado, they got an identity, like, oh, okay, this is what we expect to see every time we see them.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I don't know what our identity is, and I don't know what our identity's been. I think maybe it was Shador Sanders was our identity, those first 2 years, but now with him gone, that can't be the case. So are we going to be a smash mouth team? Are we going to be a finesse team? What does that look like? I would agree with you. I don't know what our identity is.
Yeah, I would love to see something. I don't know, but I'm a basketball player by trade, but I just love watching football. But I don't know if they need to do like an air raid type of system or just something where, like, if you got all of these fast, shifty guys, that should be showcased in the game. And for some fans, it'll probably hurt them because, you want to see smash mouth football. I'm a Packer fan, so I'm used to, kind of that type of stuff, especially living in Wisconsin. But at the same time, you gotta utilize all these Georgia and Florida guys you got. Otherwise they're gonna hit the portal and look good somewhere else.
That's I'm kind of seeing that because Colton Hood looked pretty darn good this weekend for a guy leaving Colorado.
Dude, Colton Hood looked good. I watched Big Zach Owens down in Mississippi State. He looked good. There's a few players, man, that's out here. Even Alton McCaskill looked good their first game they played. So, it's it's just all about, creating a identity or just a play style and then getting all the players to buy into that exact style. So if we not passing a lot, you might not want to come here if you want to catch 50 balls. You might have to, maybe sacrifice and catch 20, something like that. But I think we're in that locker room. What's happening is, especially with the coaches, they trying to get everybody involved, and to me, that's impossible.
No, I get it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in. And I'm sure I'll hear from you later on in the season. And enjoy Micah Parsons up there in Milwaukee.
Oh, we definitely will, man. Appreciate it, bro.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Yeah, guys, I don't know, but let's go on to our next caller. Yeah, guys. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Appreciate you calling in. Who am I talking to, and where are you calling from?
This is the No Pitch Podcast. I'm calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, we're getting a call from Pittsburgh. What did you think about the game Friday night?
I think that if Caden Salter, if he take off and run, remember he threw that after the second turnover, and remember he threw the ball to Sinclair. He
Yep.
had all that green in front of him, man.
Yep.
If they go up 14-0, then I feel like it's a different game from there. Because I feel like Georgia Tech ain't gonna be able to run the ball like they do, and they're gonna have to catch up and score. Because we've seen that we can move the ball on them. And another thing that happened after the turnover, it seemed like they forgot how to run the ball after the turnover. Like they ain't hand the ball off one time after the second turnover. They didn't hand the ball off one time.
Yep.
Not one time.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, like what is y'all doing? Like it seemed like I don't know if Shermer was. I don't know if he was trying shit. Excuse my language. I don't know if he was trying stuff. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, just hand the ball off.
I would agree. Do it until it gets stopped, right? Do it until it gets stopped because it wasn't getting stopped.
Hand the ball off until it gets stopped. What's the name was averaging what? 6 yards a carry?
Well, Micah, that first drive was 9 yards a carry.
All right, but I'm just saying after the whole thing, he was averaging 6 yards. When somebody averages 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, at the end of the game, Micah had 6 because he came down a little bit to earth in the second half, but
6 yards a
completely.
Carry. Excellent.
Yep.
That means you got a running game.
Yep. We had a running game. I mean, the stats were not bad. I mean, we had 146 yards on the ground from the guys.
I didn't understand what it's almost like, remember the first year when Prime first came, and remember the coach, the offensive coordinator,
Sean Lewis.
It seemed like he was calling plays that wasn't like it seemed like he was calling plays that we just didn't understand. That's how Shermer looked. What's the name? Like, what is you doing? Like, why are you doing bubble? Why are you doing out like bubble passes going side to side when all you got to do is hand the ball off, man?
Yeah.
And
I
another
agree.
thing I think too. Georgia Tech is a real good team, man.
Yeah.
For Coach Brown to be in his third year, and for him to go in the transfer portal like he do, for him to have a team like this, it's Georgia Tech's third year, fam. I mean, Georgia Tech, they picking Georgia Tech to be at the end.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
to me,
Haynes King, sixth year in college, 6 years starting as a quarterback.
It's like Bo Nix in Oregon. So what I'm saying is this, right? I'm gonna keep it 100 I don't see no team in the Big 12 that could even mess with Georgia Tech. That can even hang with. I don't know if they can, but from what I've been seeing over the weekend, all the Big 12 teams, I'm like, wow, man, Prime should run through this right now. Because they got
I'm not worried.
The first game they played was a real test, man.
Yep.
And I don't think they're going to face a running game like Georgia Tech ever again. Georgia Tech almost put up 300 yards rushing on Georgia. So Colorado ain't got to be ashamed of themselves. Even though as a defensive player, you're going to be ashamed anyway. But Colorado shouldn't. But when you look at the whole thing, if you be honest with your team, like I sit down with my team, I'll be like, look, I'm disappointed. But I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. This is the best running team we're going to face all year.
Yep.
And this team put up numbers on everybody. They don't just put up numbers on us. They put up numbers on, and we had a chance to win that game more than once. So, you know, I feel like Colorado is a good team, man. I feel like Caden Salter needs to settle now. I feel like the big lights was too big for him. I feel like he wanted to prove that he could pass like Shador when he there because he a dual threat. You feel what I'm saying? And I also feel like if Juju was in the game, he would have picked them apart. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like if Juju was playing, he would have picked them apart. Throwing darts. Because when I went back and watched the game, the receivers was open, man. They was open. like on the one play when they had the screen pass. The screen was set up. I don't know if Salter didn't see little I think he didn't see little DK. I think because the lineman was coming at him and he didn't see him. So if he just threw that to the side on him, he just probably scored on that. And then the pass that he missed with number 26, that was wide open, they could have scored.
Yep.
I'm just saying, man. All I'm saying is this: for Prime to be in his third year, to have a team like this, that's boy, y'all got something up there in Boulder, man. That's all I got.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Real quick, guys, because all the chat saying like all the other teams are going to be better. There's a slight difference that I will add to what he said and what some others have said. And somebody said at the beginning on the call that Haynes King's more like a Tebow type quarterback. He's that power running quarterback, which honestly I think is way more difficult to deal with because it is that smash mouth. It is that we're going to beat you physically up front and we're going to push through and, find little small holes and break through. That's the type of offense. Now, Arizona State, yeah, Sam Leavitt absolutely ran all over the place, but it was more because he was scrambling from passes than it was from designed quarterback power runs. Same with Kansas. Same with Utah. Running teams that we will still play, but they don't run the same as CU does. So just throwing that out there. That's all I'm saying. I kind of understand where people are coming from when they say we might not face a team just like that. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Colton. I'm calling from Texas.
Hey, Colton. Appreciate you calling in from Texas. What can I help you with today?
I wanted to address honestly, just call a spade here and go through Pat Shurmur's history, right?
Yeah.
Before he came to Colorado, he had about 0.23 or something win rate, right?
Yep.
And before he became the offensive coordinator for Colorado, we were averaging 32 points a game. I know some people didn't like Sean Lewis, but just looking at straight back, we went from 32 points a game to 20. I think and last year, just to cap it off, I won't take long. Last year, I think we won in spite of Pat Shurmur because we had the talent and Shador at quarterback, not because of him. And I think that really showed itself tonight. Despite all the help that Prime's brought in for him, it's still overly, in my opinion, the play calling is still awful.
Yeah, I get it. The Shurmur history has never been good. And trust me, as a Broncos fan, I know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm heated about.
Well, I'm glad you got it off your chest. I'm glad we could do that on this Monday. Like I said, at the end of all this, we're going to move forward and move into next week. But I totally get it. Appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much for calling in from Texas.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. I get it. Shurmur's history. There's a lot there. I will say, like I said, I'm telling you, I watched the tape from Friday night. I don't think it was as bad as we thought, but I totally get it. I do. I totally get it. I do have questions about why we did go away from the run at the beginning of the game. I don't know if we are trying something out. We also took Mike out of the game. I don't know whose call that is. I don't know if that's Shurmur's call. I don't know if that's the running backs coach call. I don't know if that's Prime's call. There's a lot of those things that we'll never know. We can assume and blame certain people. We got to be careful doing that because that may not be fair. That just may not be fair. It really is. But I get it. When the history is there, it's hard to break that history. Okay? It really is. Next caller up. We're going to have a couple more callers here before the end of the show. Thanks for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And, they hung up. And we're back. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And where are you calling from?
Xavier from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, Xavier, thank you for calling in. What do you have to say about Friday night's game?
What's going on? First, I want to say, man, I like what you're doing, bro. Keep it going, bro. I like the videos. Keep hustling out the videos.
Yeah, thank you.
First off, I want to say the call before the last call, I actually commented on one of the videos, the same thing that the caller said. I said,
Yep.
Pat Shermer reminded me of the last offensive coordinator coach that we had that seemed like he was selling the game. So I find that very hilarious because I commented that yesterday. I was like, the call plays that he was just doing was kind of crazy, because there wasn't no quick game. I feel like they should have thrown out a little quick game to get Caleb Father rolling, but that's neither here or there. I'm not going to give up on the Bucs. I've been here since the 111 season, and since Coach Prime got there, they've been doing a great job. I also want to see Coach Prime get involved with the play calling. It seems like he sits on the sideline and just relax, a little too relaxed. I feel like he should get a little more involvement in the play calling.
Yeah, somebody just put that in the chat, saying that they'd like to see a little more intensity and fire out of Prime on the sidelines. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. He was a little too calm in that game. I feel like he should have, stepped in and trying to get everybody fired up a little bit more after those 3 turnovers.
Yeah, no, I get that. I would want that too if I'm a player. I want to see that from my head coach, especially if the play call is not looking great or we're getting away from something. So I get that. Anything else you got to say about the game from Friday?
Yeah, last thing but not least, I think everybody should just, give Colorado, some type of grace, because I think we look 10 times better than the last 2 seasons that we had. Just based off that one game when you go against a powerhouse team like, Georgia Tech, we looked great. First game we got some things to clean up, but I think everybody should just relax a little bit, calm down, and let's see how the rest of the season goes.
No, I agree. I 100% agree on that. I mean, we ran the ball better than we have the last 2 seasons. So that says something. Now, can we get it more consistent? Can we get it going? And can we get the receivers going? That's what I'm looking for. So appreciate you so much for calling in from Atlanta. Thank you so much for that call.
All right.
Okay, guys, we'll take one more call. I had somebody call in during that call. Feel free to call back again. We'll take your call, and then we're going to get to the super chats and your guys' questions in the chat. And then we'll head out for the evening, and we'll turn the page, guys. As soon as this stream's done, it's time to turn the page and see Delaware next week. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
What's up, Russ? This is Coach Barry.
Hey, Coach Barry. Appreciate you calling in. Love getting to talk to you live in person. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm out here in Miami.
Oh, I'm sure you're enjoying the weather.
Yes, I am. I got a couple things to say. I'm a former basketball coach on a high school level, but that doesn't make me an expert. But I do have 20 years of coaching and playing the game. That was in basketball. But the things that I've seen in football, I mean, I've seen quite a few things. First, the offensive line did look a lot better than actually last year. If Shador had that line, I think they possibly went undefeated, if you ask me, because his accuracy and his passing and his quick pass. Pat Shermer is struggling on his play calling. On the blitz, I mean, we get destroyed. I think that he should run some short slant passes, put some guys in the slot. We got some super fast wide receivers. Utilize them.
Yep.
Gibson, Cam. You got the height with the 6'6" kid, Williams, well, Sincere rather. I heard of Marion. He hurt his when he pulled a hamstring or whatever. At all types. We got one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country, and they didn't get that passes. You had Welch, who did great the first half. Why did he get no touches in the second half? I do not understand that. This kid is a monster and track hawk. Look at the passes that he caught that nice touchdown pass right there. Yep. He got very good hands. The 2-minute drive, they threw like a slant to the side to Welch. Now, come on. You trying to move up the field. You're not trying to, side slants and things like that. And that 2-minute warning, come on. I mean, the 2-minute game where we were trying to push the ball up the field, you don't use 2 timeouts? Come on.
Yep. No,
Aiden
I agree.
Salter.
I agree.
He's a veteran. And he started running backwards and things like utilizing too much time. So I don't like that. I like Juju. I mean, Salter is good, but he missed like at least 6 to 7 passes on the run. I didn't like that. I think that Juju should get some time in there, just like Nebraska is used Dallin last year. I mean, they put that kid right in there and look at him. He's grown. He did pretty good against Cincinnati. But I think that they need to give Juju some runs. The other reason is, the most important reason is because he's a very accurate passer. And he will get those wide receivers that ball, and it will open up the running game.
Yep. No, I agree on that. I do. I get that. I absolutely get that. I think there should be probably a short leash. I'm not ready to call it yet for Salter, but if we're not seeing the dual threat that he is, the advantage that he brings over Juju, I'd be much more quick to say I want to see Juju here in the next couple of games. So we'll have to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing that I would say on Caden Salter, he has to also decide whether he's going to run the ball or pass the ball. There was plenty of times where he should have kept that ball when he decided to pass it as he was moving up the field. If you got a great running ability like a running back, get that ball and run it just like who was the quarterback that was running? Oh, the quarterback that was running on us, basically. Do the same thing.
I agree. I want to see him just take off more. You know, he was trying to go for the big plays. Like I said, I watched the tape today. I saw what he was looking at. He was thinking like touchdowns versus like 5 to 7 yards, but those 5 to 7 yards would have been just as good in the grand scheme of things if they keep the drive going, you know?
Yeah. And I guess the last thing I would like to say is,
go ahead.
thing I say is they have to shut down that running game because they hurt us last year with that too. And that's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I appreciate you, Coach Barry. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the support over the last couple of years as well. You're one of the originals. So appreciate you for calling in and getting to chat with you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy, and I love your show.
Thanks, man.
Everybody,
talk to you later.
Hit the like button. This guy is
That's
great.
right. Coach Barry said hit the like button. That means everybody should do it. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay, last call for the day. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, and where are you calling from?
This is Jared, calling in from Arizona. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Jared? How's it going in Arizona?
It's good. Hot, but no, it's good. Yeah. So I just wanted to say a few things really quick.
Yep.
Appreciate your show. Appreciate everything you're doing. Keep on doing it, and you'll move up the ranks. The one thing I wanted to say was I don't understand a few things about Pat Shermer's offense. We have like some fast slots, like Gibson, Cam Michael when he gets back, Harge. So running like crosser routes would open up over the top to Amarion Miller, Simeon. What's his name from Campbell?
Sincere Brown.
Sincere Brown. Yeah, it would open up the stuff over the top, as well as why was Pat Shermer in the box? I feel like he should have been on the field asking Salter, like, what's going on during the game? What are you seeing? Just that one-on-one communication from on the field.
Yeah.
I think that would have helped Salter in his first game at a big P4 level, as well as, him being on the field with Juju would have also helped out on the iPad. So that's like kind of a few things that I know. I regret seeing. So
no,
yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
His mind.
Yep.
His mind being there on the field during that whole thing.
Yeah.
Randy Moss being there. So lean on those who have been at that level, even if they're, I don't know, Coach Prime probably doesn't let him in during game day, but yeah. I would say
yeah.
that.
No, I agree with that. And again, appreciate the call so much. We're going to get one more call in here. Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who am I speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Russ, this is Dan from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, brother.
Hey, Dan, how's it going? What do you have to say about the game from Friday night?
Russ, I'm gonna crash out, man. I'm a little frustrated. You know, it's hard enough to beat these upper echelon teams, right?
Yep.
You got to have everything dialed in. You got to be firing all cylinders, and you got to hope to win the turnover battle.
Yep.
But I'm going to come back to something that keeps coming up with this team and this staff, and that's the clock management. In my opinion, it's inexcusable, man,
Yep.
and it's a big red flag on your program, and more specifically on Coach Sanders for not getting it fixed, Russ.
Yep.
This is 2 years in a row now where it's almost, I want to choose my words wisely, but it's egregious, man, that clock mismanagement. You got to give your kids who are loyal to you, who fight for you, who work their backsides off for you, you got to give them a fair shot to win and to put them in the best position possible. And you can't look at anybody who knows anything about football in the eye and say that you did that, because you didn't.
Yep.
Now, and that's on top of Shermer's kind of inefficiencies as a pass caller, and the way that he kind of shied away from the run in critical junctures of the game. It's just, it's so hard to win in this league and against good teams, and to come away from that game with a loss. I mean, it's a sick to your stomach feeling, man. That's all I got to say, Russ. I'll let you comment on that, bro.
I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you so much. I would agree on that. I think the one thing we can definitely all agree on is the clock management on the last drive was absolutely horrendous. 100 times out of 100 times, you call the timeout when the first play is negative. That is football 101. I've heard every single ex-football player today that's commented on it said the same thing. The moment that you go backwards on the first play with multiple timeouts in your pocket, you call one of them to settle things down and figure stuff out. You don't go hurry up. You don't go quick after a negative play, because at that point, it's thrown your entire plan off. So I don't get that. That's probably my biggest thing. That's probably my biggest complaint. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think I blame Pat Shurmur for that. I do blame whoever's time management. And at that point, the person that assigns time management is going to be Coach Prime. So that's where I'm at with that one. That's where it's going to stand. Let's get to the super chats real quick, okay? Because you guys have been unbelievable today. Okay, so we got East Coast Kev a lot earlier. I'm tired of people blaming Shurmur and Salter when our defensive line was getting destroyed over 300 rushing yards as inexcusable. That is true too. If we don't allow 300 yards, that team still wins, even with the offensive execution happening. So East Coast Kevs is technically not that wrong. Northside, $5. Prime have to prepare his staff and his team rule with an iron fist. He's looking to have excellent execution and dominance over other teams. We were not good at executing that game. Coach Barry with several comments as well in the super chats. Always appreciate him. Hello, my friend. I've been busy. Pat's play calling terrible. Let Falk take over. Also, given Welsh hardly any touches the second half after strong first. 2 timeouts not used during the 2-minute warning. Again, we talked about that. $5. Lastly, we need Juju because Salter's passing ability struggles. Easy targets missed at least 6 to 7 times is enough for me. For me, it's can we get him going with a dual threat? If he's not going to run, I agree with our caller from earlier. If he's not going to run, then it's Juju time. Run the ball, Salter. You're fine. Run it. Don't have to go for the big plays every single time. Run the ball. Okay? You're not Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders last year, his option every single time first was throw the ball. He didn't want to run it because he's not a running quarterback. Caden Salter is a running quarterback that can throw the ball. He's not a throwing quarterback that can run the ball like Shedeur. So when you see open space in front of you, take the yards the team gives you. Take the yards. Coach Barry, how many years do you give Pat chances when the play calling is terrible? On the blitzes, use short slant passes, quick passes. Juju's good and accurate at that. Treat him like the Nebraska treated Dylan. Another tag from Coach Barry, please. People don't realize the Buff schedule is tough this year. Houston, BYU, ISU, Utah, KSU, ASU, all are capable of beating Georgia Tech. That tells you. I think Georgia Tech's a lot better than you're giving them credit for, though, on this one. I do. I think Georgia Tech's a lot better than we think. I think they're going to have a good year. Hey, guys, unfortunately to tell you, we're now all Georgia Tech fans. That's how it works in college football. The better Georgia Tech does, the better that loss looks when it comes to our overall resume going into the end of the year and what we're looking at as a team. Now we got to beg and plead and cheer on North Dakota State. The only team I don't cheer on is CSU and Nebraska. There you go. And then I wanted to bring this up because it got thrown in the chat, and I want to explain why this is not happening ever. Okay, Northside, if Prime fails the season, should he be fired? No, he just signed an extension. But 2, even if CU struggles, it's still better than what CU had prior. I try to tell people that all the time. If we end up 6-6, 7-6, whatever that is, that may be a failure in Prime's eyes. That is not a failure in CU's eyes. You have to remember what we had for decades before Coach Prime came. It's still a better season than what we would have elsewhere. Who are we going to hire besides Coach Prime that's all of a sudden going to make things better? We're not going to have the players on this team once that happens. So there's my thing to you guys. It won't be CU firing Coach Prime. Now, if Coach Prime quits or leaves, that's on him. That could happen. But CU is not firing Coach Prime. Trust me. Trust me. They are not firing Coach Prime. Man. Not firing Coach Prime. Okay, guys. So, there it is, guys. I'm telling you right now. Brushing it off. Okay, everybody in the chat, brush it off. Okay, the game's over. Our rule is over. We're not going to do the 24-hour rule since we have this Monday crash out or victory. Okay, so 48 hour, 72 hour, depending on when the game is. This is where it ends. This is where it ends, guys. So we're moving on to Delaware. Okay, so just let you guys know, schedule Wednesday night Buff Blitz. We will have a interview with a Delaware insider on Wednesday night to share with you guys so that we can go over what Delaware is going to look like. We're going to talk about it on Wednesday night with all of you in the chat. And then, hey, guess what? Friday will be the pregame show for the Delaware game on Saturday. And I'm going to do something that you guys have made me do this because of how great you were today. We're going to open up the Taco Bell hotline on Friday, baby. We're going to hear your guys' thoughts, and I want to get your guys' live predictions for Delaware on Friday afternoon. So make sure you're there on Friday. I will be at the game Saturday. So if you're going to happen to be at the game Delaware and you happen to see me, feel free to shout out and say hello. Okay, I'm going to be recording some footage from the game to share with all of you. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy that. But until then, appreciate you guys so much for joining me today. It's been awesome. You guys have been fantastic. On the way out, of course, please, please, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get those subscribers back up. Let's get those likes up. Let's get this video out there for everybody. And appreciate our sponsors at Taco Bell. Go get your $7 Taco Bell buff box this week to celebrate what's coming up. Because, guys, things will be better. Things will be better for CU, and we will be seeing it soon enough. So thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, for Buffs News Weekly, I'm Russ. Go Buffs!